What's going on, everybody? I'm Jonathan with Current FM. You know, if you're driving home, you're working through the grind of the Monday through Friday, tune in to Current FM Monday through Friday, 2 to 7. I'm hanging out with you, playing incredible music to really just lift your, maybe you're having a rough week or rough day. Maybe a song will come on just at the right time to take you through the afternoon drive home. So check it out, Monday through Fridays, 2 to 7, right here on Current FM. CurrentFM.com, 88.5, 97.9, 103.7, 103.9, tons of options, or anywhere you go on the TuneIn Radio app, absolutely free. Check it out. I've got the word for the afternoon to encourage you. I've got great music. So hang out with me on the afternoon drive, Monday through Friday, 2 to 7, right here on Current FM.
Yeah. Mike Bell. Another real life exclusive. When I write a rhyme, I let this light of mine shine. Using wisdom, casting weapon that a spider might climb. They get caught up in it, then of course it's dynamite time. The spiders blow you up with a dynamite line. But Christ's mind is the pipeline that I drink from. A nice wine for a nice time, come and drink some. You might find that your lifeline's in the kingdom, or might find it's the right time, you should seek them. Lost in the beat, but these bars built for keeping black boys off the streets. Like a government conspiracy involved that was leaked. And now they know about it, so they call for retweet. And all that ain't political, still talking about me. I speak the truth and live in color every time I speak. I'm like a Wayne's brother when the show is at its peak. I team up with my brothers so the family can eat. And even more than that, I want the planet to be free. And walking with the Father, planning Adam with the planners for humanity. Sheesh. Yeah. Mike Bell. Follow me. Mike_Bell_ music on Instagram. God bless. Shout out Duke White. Real life.
Crystal with Real Life with Duke White. I am so excited to be here tonight with two very special guests. We have Kat Weir from right here in Virginia Beach, and then we also have Christina Milford all the way from Jamaica. They both have some wonderful things to share with us tonight, so let's get into it. So you brought her here.
I did, yes.
That is awesome. How did you meet her?
So I met her in 2018. My husband is Jamaican, and I was over there for an extended period of time, and I wanted to do something that involved mission work, and I got a list of people anyway. I found her, and we just kind of connected right away. And when I actually met her and really got involved in knowing what she does, I realized, oh my gosh, this is what I have to get involved with. And the backstory is that I was adopted, and when I turned 35, I met my birth mother. And in that meeting, she told me that I was conceived in rape. And so that, because of that, and then she actually was going to abort me at 6 months when her parents found out. She hid the pregnancy until then.
How did that make you feel when you?
Yeah, when that was a weird feeling for sure to process through. But it was something, there's a lot of information in between the two stories, but I met her at age 35. I didn't learn that until just a couple years ago, the the abortion thing. So she went to a home for unwed mothers, and she then had me and left me there, and then I was adopted out of that home. And that's exactly what Christina does, is she takes in women that, or teenagers, because my birth mother was 17 when she got pregnant, and provides a home for them. And in her case, some of the babies stay there and live with her. But also she provides these young girls a place, a safe haven. And it's a Christian-based program, which I love. And they get education and they get a skill once they graduate from school. And it's just a beautiful program.
It is. And what's so great about that, as believers, of course, we know that abortion isn't right.
Correct.
Life starts at conception. And I think many of us say that to people, like, don't have an abortion, it's not right. But then we don't go further than that and actually put ourselves out there and help these girls that need help, especially when they're young. And not every teenage girl has a supportive family that's going to help them and take care of them. Especially in certain areas in this country or in Jamaica and other things. Sometimes teenage girls can get pregnant and they have a good family support, but other times they don't. And that's where this organization comes in.
And especially if it's a crisis pregnancy and it's an unwanted pregnancy. And so the immediate thought is, I don't want this baby. In fact, Crystal, I was pro-life until I learned I was I was pro-life if somebody's raped, then of course you're going to abort the baby, right? And then I found out I was that baby. And that was like, wow. Talk about an eye-opener. So
yeah, and see how wonderful you are. You were meant to be here.
Yes, absolutely.
So those babies are too. So you, Miss Christina Milford, you are absolutely wonderful what you do. This organization that you have that we're going to hear about, it's the only one of its kind in Jamaica. At the moment, the only one, and you have such a great heart for it. So tell us a little bit of your background and how you got started with this. And it's called the Pregnancy Resource
Center of Jamaica.
Right. Okay.
I can start by saying that name came from Life International. They're here in Michigan, and they started pregnancy resource centers. So when I connected with them, that's the name that came to mind. But before getting there, I worked in industry and telecommunications business in Jamaica. They're a major corporation at the time. And my last job was end user support engineer. I dealt with the computers, with networks, with seeing to that the workers were okay, that our system should be up 98% of the time, etc., etc. But in December of '96, I told the Lord I was ready to do what he wanted me to do. And by that time, I knew it had to do with children, but I didn't know what. I'm just fast forwarding, leave out the details. Well, by February 28th, I went to a conference in Montego Bay. I was living in Kingston, and Montego Bay is the second city. And at the end of, I went to bed the Friday night, and the Saturday morning, 1st of March, I woke up out of a dream where I failed to convince a young professional who had come to me and told me she was going to abort her unborn baby. I failed to convince her not to. The dream changed scene, and I stepped into a church hall where the only furniture that was there was a mahogany table, and she was lying on it, and a man was performing the abortion on her right there in the church. And with every step to the table on which she lay, I was so mad. I got so angry. And I bent over when I got to her table and said, "Oh God, couldn't you give me a chance to live? Couldn't you let me fulfill my purpose?" And I woke up shouting that. I had no idea anything about pro-life or pro-choice. I just was pro-God.
Right.
So I complained to him. I said, "What kind of dream is this?" At the end of a conference that had to do with manifestation of the Holy Spirit. And he spoke to me in my heart. I knew. Wow. He said in 1996, the year before, there were 900 plus murders in our country, and all of us were aghast. All of us were talking about it. Talk show hosts, radio programs. He said nobody speaks about the untold numbers of his children slaughtered in the womb daily. And I said, "Well, what does that have to do with me? What are you telling me that for? I didn't kill any." I came pretty close. Right. Because with my first child, it was rape. It was a crisis pregnancy. It disturbed every plan I had I didn't want a child, and I was pushed to have an abortion, and I went on the table, and the doctor thankfully said, don't do it. It's too far gone. You're either going to kill yourself if you go to a backstreet abortionist, or never be able to have another child.
Wow.
But I was depressed, so I just kept the depression. I had my baby, and I'm ever so thankful.
Right.
He's the love of my life. You know, one of the things about babies that I remember consoling myself that now I'm going to have somebody to love me just for myself. This is my baby.
Right.
And,
Because it is very rare when a
yeah.
woman decides,
Yeah.
when she's contemplating abortion, and then she decides to have the child. Once she holds that baby, she rarely ever says, I wish I could go back and not have it. You know, it's always like, thank God I made that decision to have that baby.
Indeed.
That's how it is.
I've shared with many a woman who has come with that thought that they need to abort, but with education, because most women who contemplate an abortion most of them have no idea what an
Right.
abortion really does.
Exactly.
You know, don't call it a baby. It's a problem. Call it fetus. Don't call it baby.
Right.
Because when I visualize a baby, now I'm feeling guilty about taking that life. And so many times, I mean, I have stories after stories. One of my first clients that came to me, and I knew very little about the subject. She came and she wouldn't meet my gaze. Her eyes were down. She was 4 months pregnant, and this is Jamaica. Abortion is not legal in Jamaica. The government and others are pushing to legalize it for money, because it's all about money. But this girl came in, and long and short of her story is she had gotten a scholarship to come to the US. She found herself pregnant, and she didn't tell her donor. So she got called by the embassy to come and get her papers. So she came to me, she needed an abortion. And when I shared with her, and she wanted to see what her baby looked like, and I shared what the procedure would be, and I said, oh no, that's for the earliest stage. We can have different abortions for different stages of pregnancy. So I started to read from the little booklet. She was reading along what it was about. And very suddenly she looked upon me with tears in her eyes, and she said, Miss, and I said it in English. She said it in Patois, Jamaican Patois. I said, can I come and live with you, Miss? And she did not know we had a home. By that time, we had started a home. Because we recognized in counseling our young women, it was not enough for them to know that they're valuable or that their babies are valuable. It was not enough for them to know that we cared about her.
Right.
She needed somewhere to stay.
Right.
For many times they're out of house and home.
Right.
Nobody to lean on. So we provide that support.
So the Resource Center, you found it. What
Yes.
year was it that it started?
It started in Montego Bay, and that's, I believe, also by the leading of the Lord. I'm totally dependent on Him. I never run any home except my own personal home.
Right. That's how many
You know?
girls do you have right now?
At the present, 7 girls.
So you started this, and
Yes.
when a girl she's pregnant and she's either contemplating abortion, you guys actually have her come live with you, and then she has her child there.
We present that as an alternative.
idea,
they don't
as an
all have to
option.
come, but yes.
Right. That is amazing. We need to do more like that.
Well, I don't do it by myself, you know. We have a board of directors
Right.
and friends and donors.
I completely understand. All right. Well, we are going to take a break, and we will be right back to hear some amazing stories.
I am one in a million.
I am one of a million.
I'm one of a million.
I am one of the million.
I am one of a million.
I am one of the million.
I am one of the million.
I am one of a million.
I am one of a million.
I am one of the million.
I am one of the million.
I am one of the million.
I am one of a million.
I am one of the million.
I'm one of the million.
One of the million.
I am 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 one in a million.
This is not a trend.
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 This is not a trend. This is a movement.
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 It's a movement.
This is 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 a movement.
Hold the light. Tell me, can you see the fear? Don't you know the coast is clear? There was only shadows here. Face the tide. You know you gotta cast aside everything that's weighing you down. Those burdens will drown under the starry sky. I'll be your guiding light. All you gotta do is say, oh, I'm not afraid no more. I'm not afraid no more. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to go where you want. Say, oh, I'm not afraid no more. I'm not afraid no more. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to go where you wanna go. Take the dive into what you cannot see, deeper than the shallow seas, and I'll set you free. Close your eyes, let all of your doubts subside. There is more to faith than sight. I'm by your side under the starry sky. I'll be your guiding light. All you gotta do is say, oh, I'm not afraid no more. I'm not afraid no more. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to go where you want. Say, oh, I'm not afraid no more. I'm not afraid no more. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to go where you wanna go. I'm not afraid no more. I'm not afraid no more. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid no more. I'm not afraid no more. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to go where you want. Say, oh, I'm not afraid.
3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, I'm one of the CSJ teens.
What?
Hey guys, it's Faith White. I'm one of the CSJ teens, and I want to invite all teens from ages 13 to 19 to be a part of our CSJ commercial. And if you want to be a part of this and you're on fire for God, and you can call info.
You can info call.
Say it.
3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, this is Faith White. I'm one of the CSJ teens, and if you want to be a part of our CSJ commercial movement, is it commercial or movement?
It's commercial.
Okay, it's commercial. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, it's Faith White. I'm one of the CSJ teens, and if you want to be a part of our CSJ commercial, you can info at. Oh my God!
You got some of the teens.
Hey guys, it's Faith White. I'm one of the CSJ teens, and I want to invite all teens from ages 13 to 19 to be a part of our CSJ commercial. And all you gotta do is go to www.comingtojesus.org and get your Coming to Jesus shirt, and then you can film anywhere. You can film around your house or in your bedroom or in front of a green screen. And all you say is that I'm one of the million. This is not a trend. This is a movement. And if you want have any more information, you can email us at info@commonsensejesus.org or call us at 1-844-937-4821.
Welcome back to Real Life with Duke White. I am joined today by Miss Kat Weir and Christina Milford, who is from Jamaica, and we are having a wonderful discussion tonight. It's kind of bittersweet. It's where we need to raise awareness for what's going on in the United States, Jamaica, pretty much all around the world, with young girls getting pregnant and abortion and support. And we are also going to be talking about sex trafficking tonight and how the two interact with each other. Now, what year did your first center open? What year did it open?
Okay, we started out in 2005.
2005.
January,
wow,
actually.
That's been a while.
Yes, it's been a while. And I actually was volunteering at a school. I was starting up. I knew nothing about business or starting a center or doing a center or doing anything except the work I had done for 27 years.
You were just going where God was leading.
Yeah, I just jumped into the deep end. And so there was a school, for a vocational training school, and the principal wanted a counselor, and I'd started my counseling degree, because if I'm going to counsel girls, I need a degree in counseling, right?
Right.
So I thought. And my first client was an 18-year-old girl who was post-abortive, and all these terms I did not know back then. When she came into me, the girl, she was crying because the other girls were talking about their babies, and she couldn't talk about hers because they were dead. When she was 16, she had another one, and since then she had so she had 2 abortions, 2 dead babies, and she was now grieving. Right. So I worked with her because I'm a believer, so I know what God can do, and if we confess our sins, He's faithful and just to forgive us and to cleanse us. So I took her through the whole spiel, and we talked it through. And she seemed to be okay. Well, a month later, she came to my office and now she was pregnant and did not want a baby. Oh. And I was, okay, then I don't really understand this thing. But so many years on, I understand, because that's one of the symptoms. Post-abortion brings grief that needs healing, and many times a woman wants back a baby. Mm-hmm. When she's pregnant again, nothing has changed in her circumstances, and she thinks she cannot afford a baby. Her life remains the same as it's a threat to her, and so she may choose abortion again, unless there's an intervention that would help her. And I had one such. For some reason, I pictured this young girl who used to be in her class, and she was working downstairs in her building. I went to her and said, I don't know, I've seen your face being very sad. What's happening? And she said, Miss, I'm pregnant. I said, is that a good or a bad thing? She said, bad thing, Miss. And the truth is, and I don't want the baby. Mm-hmm. And, she said the year before she was pregnant, and now she wanted back a baby. And she forced her partner to get her pregnant. As a matter of fact, she said she told him if he didn't do it, she was going to find somebody to do it. He was so upset. Now she's pregnant. She didn't want the baby again. Oh. So I know that she was a believer before, and I said to her, girl, I think you need to just recommit your life to the Lord. Why didn't you come upstairs and talk to me? She said, I was thinking about that, Miss. So she came upstairs where we were, and we sat and talked for a while and decided to pray. So I said, did you name the baby? That's one of the healing methods, name the baby and present the baby to the Lord. And she said, yes. Call him Judah. I don't want to call the name. And she said, okay, let's pray. And we got to the point where I said, Lord, please forgive me for killing Judah. She said, Lord, please forgive me for... And she said, Miss, I'm not ready for this. So I stopped. You don't push. You never push a client beyond what they can. But I believe it gave her realization that if the baby that died was somebody, then this baby in her womb is somebody, and she should save the baby alive. Right. She had a beautiful child several months later, and well cared for, well loved, and by everybody.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you remember, do you remember the first girl that actually came into your home, into your center?
Into my home. Well, the first girl that came into my home was a girl she had a 6-month-old baby. She was in an abusive relationship. She said the father of the child, who was another teenager, would beat her hand against the wall so she wouldn't be able to hold her pen to write. You know, it was crazy. So, and his mother was fighting her for her baby. She said, that's my baby. I've been supporting it since a woman. So I really worked with her and stood with her. And when we had her home, she was the first one. I was teaching class the evening when somebody came to me and said, there's a girl downstairs with her baby. She's waiting. She has nowhere to go. I had nowhere to take her to because the home was not yet.
Right.
And this was Friday evening. So I said, well, if she can wait until my class is finished, then I'll see to her. Well, when the class was finished, I forgot her. Went downstairs to lock up, and there she was with a baby, 6 months old. No food, nothing. So we went to the supermarket and got stuff. And I was just renting another place close by. So I fixed it up with a mattress that I had. She was glad for anything. Mm-hmm. And then another woman from our church who had a heart for that ministry also joined herself. And so that's how our home just chugged into existence, because the need was there. It was very present. And
so, and we have talked about before how the need is very much prevalent. There's a huge need in Jamaica for what you're doing, but you are the only organization that does this.
I'm remembering the Lord says we need to pray for laborers, who will come to the harvest. Because honestly, I know it's not in my strength that I'm doing this work. No, I know I would not have had the patience. Now this lady, she sees patience in me. That has been birthed. That has grown on me.
How many girls have been through the center since you started?
I would say over 300. Some for shorter time than others. Yeah.
And most of these have been pregnant girls?
I would say
with children?
Maybe 60% pregnant.
60%.
Yeah.
So pretty much you and whoever works with you, you guys have helped save that many lives by doing this.
Well, some who have came with the babies, or some had, well, they didn't have a choice and they were still pregnant, but, you know, but some from the office, we intervened. I can tell you about there's a love of my life that's at home right now. And he wouldn't talk to me last week because I was away for several days. And he said I should not sleep in that bed. He watched me he said, no, come over to your bed. And the next day when I called him, and he said, where's the baby? And I think he believes, because when the girls leave for a time, they go to the hospital and bring back a baby. He's 3 years old. And I think he probably thinks, you know, in his mind that I'm going to have a baby. So I said, where's the baby? I said, no, you're my baby. He said, I don't want to talk to her. And he walked away. I was so wounded. I want to encourage you. If today you find yourself pregnant or afraid that you're pregnant and need some help, don't be afraid to call us. If you're in Jamaica, call us at 876-322-1157 or 876-446-6524. And we're on WhatsApp. So we're worldwide. If you're not in Jamaica, you can still reach out to us on the internet. We speak to you on Facebook, help you to overcome the crisis that you're going through. We never tell you what to do, but we can give you information that will help you to make some good decisions. You are valuable, you're worthwhile, and so is your unborn child. You deserve to be loved and protected. Our address in Montego Bay is Shop 14 of the Victory Building, 3 to 5 4th Street, Montego Bay, St. James. We welcome you. If you just need somebody to talk